Good stuff.
This is the Grow Business Podcast with Cory Mosley.
The podcast.
Yeah.
Grow. We're growing. We're back in action.
We are back.
Back in action.
Indeed.
I like it. They're back. They said, where you been?
Right.
Where you been?
So that's a fancy lapel pin. What does that mean?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
for
this
the
is my
people that are-
speaker. This is my speaker pin.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, for the people watching on YouTube, look at that. That's
Yes.
fancy.
NSA.
mean something is that
Speaker
like-
pin.
You got to earn that or something?
Well, that'd be a great story, right? Well, yes. Funny that you mentioned it, Lon. You have to achieve the top echelon of echelons to qualify for this. No, I think you can buy this from the store for $5.
Okay.
Buy from the NSA store. Yeah,
That's good.
but it's like, hey, I speaks,
Right?
right?
Well, it matches that thing in front of your mouth. You got a
Yeah,
microphone, you
exactly.
got
The
a
microphone, right? Got to keep the theme.
That's right.
I mean, just like the CM logo, right? That's a microphone. People don't realize that's a microphone, not a hanging Chad that's there. It's a microphone that comes down.
How cool is
People
that?
don't think it's my tonsils. Christmas gift, there's cufflinks. The C cufflinks with the microphone.
I haven't
So
seen
I
those
gotta
yet.
see if I have if I got some around. Might be a
haven't
good
seen those
stocking stuffer for
there
you.
you go.
For you,
Yeah.
because I know you like free. So
I like
LG said-
I like quality.
LJ said, if it's free, it's for me. No,
Yeah. I like quality.
No, yes, I know. I've seen some of them boots that you got. All right. Well, we might want to introduce, just in case people don't know if they tune in the right place. You are in the right place. The early ramblings is a sign that you are in the right location, because that's just me and LG 007 cutting up. This is the Grow Business Podcast. I'm your host, Cory Mosley. And I'm joined as usual by the man, the myth, the legend, LG 007.
Voice of Reason.
Good to be here, Cory.
Absolutely. And of course, the man out the gate, doing well, hitting on time so far, is none other than our show producer, Willie H. is here.
Hit the buttons, William.
That's right. Let's see if he can make it all the way through the episode on point.
I like his chances.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe he'll win. Maybe he'll win something. I'm feeling generous today. So maybe this. Well, he got free lunch already. So
There you go.
he got his free lunch today. So I don't. Now you got to do your. Yeah, that's it. So the lunch remains free, Willie H. If you succeed.
With me, brother.
Yeah. If you succeed today's episode. If not,
right.
they call that in the business world, folks, a chargeback. All right?
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Willie H has been waiting for an opportunity
Oh,
to use
absolutely.
that now. I love it. That's good. I like him engaged. He's got the good energy there. Folks, we've got another great show planned for you. Lon and I are still basking in the return. In return from summer, we're still basking in that. And we're happy to be here with you.
Yeah.
Super excited for another episode. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep hitting us with the 5 stars, keep the streams going. Bring a friend involved.
Yeah.
Get them involved. There's somebody who's trying to grow their business, someone who needs a wake-up call or some great ideas.
Right.
Or they need great ideas delivered in a feisty manner
With some vigor.
with some vigor, a little gas, and a little break, right? Also, okay?
That's right.
And shout out to our YouTube followers. Shout out to wherever we're Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Amazon. Somebody else was telling me that they're listening. I can't remember the name of it. Some platform that is like the platform of platforms.
Oh, wow.
So you go there, and then you could connect with whatever works with your phone the best or whatever.
Oh, wow,
So yeah,
okay.
I gotta remember what that was. But
Okay.
because I said, oh, where are you listening from? And he gave me the name of it. And I'm like, I don't think we stream there.
Right.
And he's like, no, it's like a main RSS platform, and then converts it. So pretty cool.
Fantastic.
But, yeah, we're super excited. Want to pour into you again, as we talked about when we came back from summer break. We're really focused on, I'm the creator of the 5 pillars of business growth and position for growth, 5 pillars. So we really want to focus on that. If you're not familiar with those 5 pillars, we're talking about mindset, sales, marketing, operations, and people. And of course, we talk about this extensively in my new book, Position for Growth, now available on Amazon.com. Also on my website directly at CoryMosley.com. So we go deeper into that. And we're breaking down today, we're going to cover the sales pillar.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to look at the sales pillar. We talked about marketing last week. We're going to talk about sales this week. And we're going to talk about today, Lon, some common missed opportunities for sales inside a small business.
Okay.
So we might refer to this as maybe some low-hanging fruit, maybe some things that you can do right now. You know, you don't have to bring in a consultant like myself. You don't have to bring in a sales expert like Lon. These are some things that we want to bring to your attention that you may have forgotten about, not gotten involved in, or it's been a while since you've done them, and you're just leaving deals. Right. Because what's so interesting is it's almost an unfair. There's clients that we work with, and we go in and 60 days later they've increased sales X, so they've had this bump.
Right.
And it's almost unfair because it's not like a pat on the back moment. It's not like, oh, we're so great. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this a long time and I like to believe I know what I'm doing. Our clients consider that. Google says that. A lot of people say that. But it's really first capitalizing, because one of my thoughts always and one of my strategies always is, where can we get some immediate ROI? Like, where can we go look that we're not paying attention to? So we want to talk about some of these things conceptually with you today, and now things that you can take and apply to your business. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to hop right in to number one. I don't really have a story connected to it, but there'll probably be some stories that will come out of it as we talk about them, as usual, right? So the first one I want to talk about is a failure to upsell or cross-sell. Right. There are so many obvious opportunities that I see inside businesses. Now, information marketers do this well. Okay. But if you're not an information marketer, if you're not selling courses or these types of things, because the technology trains you to do that, the Kajabis of the world, the Sam Carts of the world, people have the technology platforms, they train you on the upsell, right? Right. Ever bought an ebook that was free, and then by the time you were done, it was $127 because you added the PDFs, you added the free audio file, you added the course. They're great at that. Yeah. Average Joe business owner, brick and mortar, small business owner, service-based business, not great at it. Correct. Right? I'm coming to clean the carpets. Great. It's $90 a room, sir. Fantastic. Okay. Then you go clean the rooms and get your $90 a room. Right. Oh, but you know what? For an extra $15, we can enhance it with a Scotch Guard, which would extend the wear and life, when applied properly, consistently extends the life of your carpet for an extra $15 per room. Right. Or I noticed you have pet. I noticed you have little JoJo over there, or a little Oprah Winfrey. People name their dogs. It's crazy to name them after people. Oh, wow. Very common. Like, so I see you got little Elvis over there. Right. Well, I know Elvis is potty trained, but has he ever had any accidents? Yeah, occasionally he'll have an accident. Great. So you know what we need to do for an extra $25? Right. At least your most high traffic rooms. Maybe don't do it everywhere. For an extra $25, we'll add the pet guard and we back that with a warranty. Right. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I've turned that transaction. Many small business owners, many of them that I meet, fall into the order taking category. Right. They're just taking the order. They're not actually selling. Because they have a carpet cleaning business, they don't think they're selling. Right. I go back to when I was in high school. I was a member of the DECA Club my senior year in high school. And we competed in a number of different categories. And one of the categories I competed in was sales. Mm. And what I sold was a suit. And you sell accessories, you sell a shirt, you sell a tie, you sell a pocket square. You offer the customer opportunities to get things that naturally go with the primary product that you're selling. Mm-hmm. And there are things in your business. We talk about, you and I can talk about the hair salon all day long. Sure. But if you're not pulling off the shampoo that you use to wash that person's hair, one of the greatest lost opportunities inside a salon. Here's business. What I use on you. Would you like to use? Correct. How about taking it home with you? Correct. So these are the types of things that, if you have a $250 haircut. I'm not a salesman. I don't want to be salesy, Lon. Well, you want to go out of business. Right. I'd say it all the time. Nobody sells a secret. Right. Secrets don't sell. Yeah. People don't buy a secret, whatever you want to say it. And it's your responsibility. I mean, again, I always operate. So the caveat, right? Right. we always operate from a good faith statement. So when Lon and I'm speaking for you, but like when we're making these statements,
Right.
this is all giving you the assumption that you're not misleading people, you're not selling crap, you're not, hustling, right? So this is, in your example, the shampoo that you use on them, you're using because it's a premium product, or it's a product. Maybe it's not a premium product. I mean, for every Vidal Sassoon, there's a hair cuttery or whatever, right?
It's the appropriate product that you're using for them.
Yes, that you believe in. 100%. That's why you're using it. So why is it got to be salesy? Why does it have to be salesy for you to present the product?
Right.
Oh, I love my hair. Great. You want to maintain it? Here, I've put together a package of our 3 most popular products that will help you maintain this. 100%. For $45.
Well, and think about it this way, Cory. So we talk about, I don't want to be salesy. Well, that's, get out of your own way. Think about it this way. We'll use this hair example. Mm-hmm. Somebody calls and schedules an appointment,
right,
and comes to see you, because they either had somebody tell them, right, that you do a great job, or you've done a great job for them before.
Right.
So these people go out of their way to come get one of a vein product, hair, taken care of by you, and it's important enough for them to pay somebody to do it.
Correct.
You use things that they come to you for.
Yeah.
You are doing them, like you said, you are doing them a disservice by not offering them an opportunity to take that home with them until they come back and see you again.
And the way that you break from fear, upselling, is you do it every time and make it part of your process.
Right.
Then there's no buildup.
It's part of your checklist.
Yeah, there's no buildup.
Right.
Oh, okay, we come to the end now. It's kind of like the dating awkwardness of the first kiss, right? Is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? Is this not? Well, go for it every time,
right?
And you won't have to worry about the awkwardness, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, no means no, but you go for it every time. McDonald's supersize 70% upsell.
Right.
They didn't wait for you to get to the window, look at you, and go, "Oh, I know you want a big one, don't you? I know you want a large fry instead of a medium fry."
Or you go to the movie theater, another 50 cents, you can get the biggest cup we have.
Just ask every time. Ask every time. Desensitizes it.
100%.
I follow these days. I think this is fun. I mean, I feel bad. I'm glad to be married. That's what I'm going to say, because it's crazy out there now. So I follow a bunch of these, like, I don't know what they call, like, dating guru, like how to talk to women gurus.
Right.
And now with like the glasses, those Ray-Ban glasses with the cameras in them, you don't have to film somebody in their face. I'm just the camera that films. You don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I can be talking to you like this, so it's point of view.
Oh.
You don't even know like that. But I'm talking to you. So they do these, walk ups, and the guy's just showing you how easy it is for people terrified and debilitated by the idea of going to say hello to a woman.
Right.
He just shows you in real time how he just goes up and makes conversation, and he gets rejected by some, and others just how easy he gets numbers. Right.
Interesting. Okay.
And he's showing that, but it's because he's doing it every time.
Right.
He's doing it 40 times a day. He's not looking for, he's selling his program and by showing you the example, right? I don't think he's dating all of these. I don't know, but I don't think he's going on 40 dates a week. That's expensive, number one. But he's just showing you how easy it is, or by repetition and not being afraid doesn't matter. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but he covers the spectrum. Let's put it that way. So he's got some beauty queens, and he's got some people that I'm like, dude, you're lying to. When you're like, oh, you're Hermosa, so beautiful. Even she's like, what are you selling?
Right, exactly.
But he's showing the repetition of it. And so that's one of the easiest ways is to make an upsell, cross-sell part of the fabric of your presentation, as long as it's relevant, right? That's the key.
Right.
And you look at not just the revenue opportunity, but what's the necessity. So we learned from like our video production aspects of it, like our thought leadership interviews, we learned that people needed social media clips and things. So they were getting their full interview, they were getting their full 15-minute interview, but then it was, well, what do I do with this now? Other than put the whole thing on there. Now I got to go to Fiverr or somewhere. So we looked at that and said, okay, great. For an extra $2.95. You get the clip. So it was an upsell that we weren't upselling for the sake of trying to make more money. We were filling a need and getting properly compensated to do that.
Right. Well, and here's the thing that sometimes we forget, and I'm say this standing firmly on the ground in front of a mirror when I say it. Everything costs money.
Yeah.
Everything has a cost money.
Sure.
And if what you are providing is valuable to the people that you're working with, there should be a financial commitment associated with that. Because if it's valuable, there's money involved in it, which means that you should make money for it. And it's not cheating. Again, we are operating from the foundation
that you provide good products and services. This is who this show is for.
100%.
If you're scamming out there, if you're selling stuff that is no good, or you're trying to get over on people, I don't want you listening to our podcast. I don't want you getting better at that.
Right. And I was going to help you anyway, because you're so so far off the rails. Yeah. But the point of it is this: is that people come to you because they want whatever you have to offer them. Yeah. They want what you're offering, what you're selling.
Or they don't know that yet, but
they want to work with you.
Correct.
Once they get into your ecosystem, give them every opportunity to benefit from your expertise and what you do.
Right. 100%. 100%. Okay.
We came out of the gate in third gear.
But I'm looking at the next one and I'm going, because this is so true. Okay. Neglecting to follow up.
That bad.
And here's the thing. The funny thing about it is I sympathize for a different reason.
Okay.
If you don't have the luxury, I say luxury, if you're not running a business that has a sales team.
Correct.
Where now you can have these layers, a sales manager and the team and a sales assistant, and you've got your dashboard and your call count and your touches a day. If you are in essence part of your sales process, it's very easy to start to make deeper assumptions about a prospect customer than you normally would if you were simply a CEO or a business owner overseeing your team, right, and getting that feedback from your manager, because now you're in the thick of it. Right. So like you literally talk to somebody and go, I don't think that person's a buyer. Right. So wrong to not follow up, because we've got all the systems in the world to do it. But I sympathize with the idea of like, if they want my stuff, they'll come back and get it. Like it's very easy to get into that attitude. Right. If they really want to buy my product or service, then I shouldn't have to follow up, because they'll follow up. Right. So this is a great story. Because see, I knew the stories would come.
Yeah, stories.
So we have a new client. I'm not even gonna get into what they do or what they do, but there's a retail front of what it is.
Okay.
So I was there for an unrelated piece of business, because we do try to do business with our clients also. Like you invest with me, I find ways to refer or invest with you.
Other, right?
So I was at his facility, and in his facility, he has, you go into a place and they have like the business cards of different people, like networking. So like the agent for this, the State Farm guy, the insurance guy, they have the cards. Now he's a client that's come on to what we call PFG 360. So that's our position for Growth 360. That's where we're doing business advisory and we're taking over their marketing. So digital marketing, SEO, and we're integrating it all together, phone tracking, call recording, the whole thing. So I was waiting there at their Keurig machine, getting a cup of coffee. I don't know why I did that, because not so much. But I, particularly if you've been to our office and had our coffee, it's a tough transition. But it's one of those mental triggers. You're standing there, you're waiting. There's a coffee machine. You feel like you should just have coffee, and a coffee mate later and a clumpy stirrer later. You're like, why did I do this to myself or my stomach? But anyway, I'm waiting there because most people know what I'm talking about. They can visually go there. They made that bad coffee decision. Right. So I look and I see there is a business card of a marketing agency.
Oh, wow.
But I just thought to myself, how ironic that there's somebody who could have had this business, potentially, that has their business card at this business trying to get business, but was not successful at pitching, engaging, trying to build value, with the actual business that they. Because now in 60 days from now, when their new website's up and it's beautifully branded and it's story branded and it makes sense and high converting and all these things that my team and I will do to it,
right?
That customer, that agency owner has at some point, I don't know, go to refill the cards or stop by there for something or go see the website or whatever and go, oh, why didn't we have an opportunity to get this business?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
Well, and so the point of that story is that person didn't follow through or follow up on the access that they had to that client.
Yeah, right. It's just like, why aren't we? I could put my business card here, but why aren't we doing it? Now, I don't know. Listen, you can get into the weeds, right? Maybe they did, and at that time they didn't want to talk to them or whatever. I like stuff like that.
Well, one.
That's my sinister. That's my sinister nature of like. I love that because I'm competitive. I love that. I want to eat everybody's lunch.
Right.
I don't want you to be. I don't care. Tell me you're talking to somebody else. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go pitch for pitch. I'm happy to do that.
Well, and
not really. I want to be one of one, but I am one of one.
That's why you are the best.
Is that where it's okay?
That's a good one. Yeah.
But go ahead, make your point.
well, to your point, there are lots of opportunities like that businesses miss, that even professional salespeople miss, because they dismiss a conversation.
Right.
And if somebody is willing to have an engaging conversation with you, that is I understand what you're doing.
Or not. Put them on the newsletter. Somebody tells me, oh, we want to look at it in fourth quarter. If you're using the right systems, because this is where shortcuts come in.
Correct.
Right? You're working on some antiquated system. You won't invest in a good CRM. You won't, or you invested in one and you don't use it.
Right.
You type in what you want to type. You put in the home runs, not the people. Because there's so many different things. Like, if you told me, Lon, oh, well, Cory, I like what you got, but it's not good timing for us. Check in with us in Q1.
Right.
In 3 seconds,
I
can set it up so I check in with you in Q1.
Right.
Or for me, Q4.
Well,
so I'm not going to wait till Q1.
Right. Well, because we're
I'm going to hit you a little
Q1.
earlier. Right. I'm just going to listen to what you want to do. Right. But my point being, I can do that in 2 seconds. There's no excuse in today's market with freemium type of systems where the first 500 customers you could put in and work with for free before you even have to pay. There's no excuse for that right now in that situation. Or you said that to me, I'm going to put the note there. I'm going to set you up for follow-up, and then I'm going to put you on my newsletter.
Right.
So now I'm going to deliver value to you every Tuesday when I release the newsletter.
Right.
You're going to get messages. Now you don't want it, you'll opt out, and that will tell me something about you and maybe our future.
Right.
But in the meantime, there's such little things I can do. So the idea that you would tell me, and I've had a service provider tell me, just so you know, we're not going to follow up with you. It's not personal.
Right.
It's just we're very busy.
Well,
I thought that was a perfect opportunity. Oh, okay. No, it's still time. Go ahead, drop it.
That's just dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
We're knocking the dust off. Well, let's go back to the person who put their card up and sees all of the upgraded marketing, this first class level marketing that this business owner has invested in.
Yep.
That person who's got their card up, one, if they're, hopefully they are paying attention, and two, if they are paying attention, it's worth, okay, if that person's listening today, think back about where did you leave that client and where did you stop engaging with that client. Now, there's all kinds of reasons why it didn't make sense to do business, and we understand all of that. But there are more opportunities that are missed because you didn't stay engaged than because you did.
Right.
So to your point, the follow-up piece, give them an opportunity to continue to stay engaged with you. So when the time is right, because if you are doing something that is valuable to them, there will be a right time. Give them an opportunity to make that decision.
What I love about these conversations is that we live in the world that we're talking about, right?
Right.
So like I'm not like a retired I didn't exit my company for a gajillion dollars and now I'm just waxing poetic on a podcast.
Right.
Like we're literally engaged in the daily aspects of things, right? Unfortunately, I'm not in Bali with my laptop while my Stripe account just rings all day long.
Right.
God bless anybody who is. But what I love about this is I literally had a conversation with a prospect today and was talking to them about our virtual training systems and our LMS development for associations. And we're talking to an association for their members. And she literally said to me, I am going to, they're trying to revive a certification program that they had like 8 years ago. It's like, we really want to revive the certification program. It's all on paper. We don't have, so I said, great. I said, I demoed our system, one of our systems for her. She said, I'm literally going in to meet with the executive director on Friday about this topic. And one of the points of the meeting is what's a mechanism? How can we modernize this? How can we do it?
Right.
This is exactly what I'm looking for.
Right.
I talked to her 3 months ago originally.
Right.
About something completely different.
Right.
So literally right time, right place, right scenario. That's out there for everybody. If you're
100%.
a painter, you gave somebody a painting quote and you know what? They didn't hire anybody. You don't know that. You assume they didn't go with you.
Right.
That living room's still unpainted.
Right. Well,
because life got in the way, something got in the way, whatever, the economy, somebody died, something happened, anything happened, got in the way. They never got it done, but you will never know. And you know what they'll do? They'll just start all over again. They'll forget about you.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Well, and to your point, the follow up and follow through, right?
Yeah.
Earlier today, I got first time new business from one of my clients that I've been talking to for over 6 months.
Right.
I go in and see him once or twice a month and I say hello to him. We have conversations. We talk about opportunities. The right opportunity presented itself today and they thought about me and the company that I'm working with and they sent us that new business. First time.
Yeah.
And so same thing, right? Stay engaged, stay involved, ideal client. They have the potential.
In small business talk, they call that TOMA in the marketing world.
Yeah.
Top of mind awareness.
Right. 100%.
That's what makes me make a bad decision to have a Whopper every 6 months. It was because that freaking commercial is on.
Mercy.
That freaking BK, have it your way. You rule. So that's how they do it.
It works.
They spend millions and millions of dollars to get me to spend 10 every 6 months.
Well, and you are like their tertiary target.
Right, correct.
Their primary target is spending 10 every day.
Yeah, correct. That would be Starbucks that gets that money.
Correct. Well, we all have our Starbucks.
Right, that should be against the law. Okay, we're only 2 in. Holy moly. All right, next. So we talked about neglecting to follow up. So stop doing that, folks. Thank you. Number 3, underutilizing customer data.
Okay. Yeah.
So not leveraging customer information, purchase history, trying to offer, personalized products and services.
Right.
Absolute crazy.
Yes.
If you've got customers, particularly those that haven't bought for you in a period of time.
Right.
Or what do you know about the data to go and so many times we're on a strategy call with a client and they're giving me their emotional thoughts, not their data-driven thoughts. Right. Who's your ideal customer? Oh, well, Cory, we think it's this, that, and the other. Okay, who does your database say has consistently been your customer?
Right.
Oh, well, your database says something completely different than what you say.
Right.
Because they're not using data. And people think data is not just for major corporations. Right. Data is not just for people who have 100 employees. Data is for solopreneurs just as much as it is for major corporations. How you use the data, what kind of data matters to you, how intricate, how detailed, those are the adjustments you may make based on need. Right. But the idea of data, the idea of knowing, because how can you become more effective at who you're going to talk to?
Right.
We did a coaching call with a client. We did a coaching call, and I said to her, I said, one, what's your most lucrative line of your business? She told me what it was.
Right.
And I said, what do you believe, or what do you want to be the most lucrative line of your business in 5 years?
Right.
She told me what it was. I said, so these other 7 or 8 things that you're doing, or the lens that you need to look, because we were trying to get clarity. It was a clarity kind of call.
Sure.
So this is simple. All these things you say yes to, you got to start saying no to.
Right.
If because the litmus test is, does saying yes to this get me more of X, which is my most profitable product or service right now, or does it get me closer to Y, which is the groundwork I'm laying for what I want to be my most profitable 5 years?
Right.
Everything else is a no.
Everything.
Let the church say amen.
Everything else is a detour.
It's a detour. It's a no. My friend Jim Zingler says, beware of distractions disguised as opportunities.
Yeah.
And it's as relevant today as it was, as he's been saying it for decades.
100%.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you know about your customers? Not what do you think you know. What do you know about your customers?
Well, and data is, in its purest form, is information.
Mm-hmm.
And would you go to present on something without doing some research on it?
Sure.
Well, data is the same thing. How do you go target your clients without understanding who the best ones
Lon,
are?
it's like telling me that you want to target Gen Z customers and you want to go spend $10,000 on Facebook.
Well said.
Good luck.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Right.
Good luck finding those Gen Zs on Facebook at scale.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So, and again, also you got to understand, you also can't be settled into something, because as people know that have ever seen me in person talk, that when we talk about like a TikTok type thing, I know it's very well known. I talk about my mother and her addiction to TikTok at 70 plus years old. I ain't gonna give the number. I don't want to hear her feedback. But at 70 plus years old, she's on TikTok constantly. I'm thinking about putting one of those things that you put for your kids on their phone that throttles where they could do stuff. I'm thinking of that. She's on TikTok and then she's sending them to me and all these things. And did you know about this? And ceramic mugs cause cancer. I saw it on a video. Like, I mean, anything you can think of.
Right.
So, and she buys a ton of stuff on TikTok.
Sure.
So if you're sitting around right now and you sell whatever, oh, our audience isn't there. That's the younger crowd. Stop ignoring channels you don't understand. Oh, he's just showing off now. He's taking clips from everything. Right. Go ahead.
Well, we haven't had a sports reference since we got back, so now's the perfect time.
And that would be all you.
Now's the perfect time for sports reference.
How many goals do you score when you kick it through the thing? No, go ahead.
Exactly. It's like trying to sell cleats to a basketball player. You know, basketball players play on wooden floors.
Sure.
Football players and baseball players play on dirt and grass.
Thank you for the clarification for those that have never seen a baseball game, basketball game, or football game.
Right. Well, exactly. Though. But my point being, if you're targeting basketball players,
talk slow, Lon, so we understand exactly what you're saying.
Voice of reason.
No, that's a chargeback. All right, you don't get to finish your point after putting that out. We just have to take it. All right, I'm going to the next one. The next one is poor online presence.
Sure.
Having an outdated your website. Here we go. Social media, missing information, poor presence, poor. Because people are looking you up. That's what we do. I literally look people up as if I meet them somewhere. I'm looking them up as I'm talking to them. Right. I'm looking them up as they're telling me things. I'm looking them up immediately. That's what people do. Like, I'll tell people something. Oh, you have a card? I have a card on me, but Google me. I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm saying that I have done a good job in 20 years of consulting and speaking and coaching, of curating online, where you can learn a lot about me that I don't have to toot my own horn, so to speak, or I don't have to sound like I'm selling you anything. You can go online, read 40 LinkedIn reviews, read Google reviews, put in the video button and see hundreds of videos that I've whether done or been in or interviewed. I'm not saying that for ego. I'm saying it because that's the greatest representation of the quickest way to get familiar. So if you're not, I went to a site and the last thing they posted was 4 years ago. So it's not that people won't do business with you based on that. But some people will go, well, what's been happening over the last 4 years?
Right.
You know, that basement job you did looked great. You haven't done one in 4 years?
Right.
That bad. And that business owner would say, oh, Cory, we just haven't had time. We haven't this, haven't that. But because you're not investing in the right areas. So you're missing opportunities.
Right.
That's why these new players, there's this new group of people that we're working with that I didn't realize that we do a really good job with. And that's people that have been in business a long time that are now getting their lunch ate by people faster, stronger, quicker, more nimble, sometimes younger youth coming in and influencing, right? The disruption of things. Right. And they're like, what do I do? Because you were the game in town and you were the main player and you thought your handshake being as good as Oak, Jerry Maguire, was going to hold the day and your referrals hold the day. People change. Loyalty is not what it used to be. And also the definition of what you have to do to create loyalty has changed. Correct. And I think that's important.
It is important.
Loyalty is not a default.
Right.
A client called me one time and said he was having a problem with one of his managers and he's not sure what to do. The guy's been with him 10 years.
Right.
I stopped him immediately. I said, loyalty is a bonus.
Yeah.
I said, loyalty is something that becomes a factor on top of somebody doing their job correctly.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And, you know, this is bleeding the line between sales and marketing, telling people what to do and then giving them an opportunity to buy it. So people want consistency. And there's a saying that how you show up anywhere is how you show up everywhere. What you do in one place is what you do everywhere. So if people look at your marketing and look at your online, so we're really talking about online presence here, social media, website. In this for this episode, when people see one thing, they're going to make the assumption that everything is that. So if your website looks like junk, they're going to make the assumption that the business that you do is junk.
Yes, your service is junk.
Right. And whether it's true or not.
100%. Yes. And the easiest way to realize this, it's not you taking our advice because we're podcasting right now.
Right.
It's how do you respond in your daily life?
Right.
My wife sent us what did she do? She suggested a restaurant for some friends and I to go to. And she looked it up and went to and suggested a restaurant. Like, look good, the menu.
Yeah.
Then the next thing you do is you hit the reviews.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, so those great pictures they took of the ambiance and how it looked 10 years ago, how it looked inside or the menu, the plates, that goes out the window when you start reading bad service, food took too long, undercooked, manager's very argumentative when you have a problem, whatever those things were.
Right.
Same thing with the hotels. Right? Oh, hotel looks good. Yeah, they paid the photographer a lot of money.
Right.
Then you ended up at Chilligan's Island. Okay? Behind that mirror is a hole that never got filled in. But that to me is the easiest way to process it. Right. How do you make a decision on a refrigerator? How do you make a decision on a hairdresser or a stylist? How do you make a decision on these things? It's so much driven by how you do it. So it's not like, oh, well, people don't buy. Of course they do. You know how many restaurants I have not gone to because of reviews? Right. How many? And again, I'm smart. And what I mean by that is I don't let one bad review. I look for patterns. Right. Because somebody's not going to be happy about something. We don't know the motive. It could be a competitor that wrote a bad review. I look for patterns. Right. If 7 people tell me the air condition is problematic in the summer at this hotel is not adequate, then I'm going to believe it. Right. Guess where I won't be going in Atlanta in August? Right. Exactly. Won't be that hotel.
Well, and consistency, again, we're talking about consistency.
Yeah.
You know, we live in an area where we've got 7 different branded grocery stores within a 2.5 mile radius. Sure. and they all sell food. They sell different kinds of food.
I find myself going to 3 grocery stores just to complete my grocery shopping.
Well, that's exactly right. But here's the point, though, is if you go to one and one's a little dirty,
right?
Or if you go to one and you like the people are nice and the people, or the one that you normally go to, they start hiring new people that aren't very nice and are difficult to work with. You got choices to go somewhere.
And there's places that would never happen.
Correct.
That's brand affiliation, right?
100%.
I would never expect to have a bad experience in a Chick-fil-A.
Never.
Now, somebody messed up the chicken, somebody didn't put enough pickles on, asked for pickles. That can happen.
Sure.
But I would never, if somebody's not saying my pleasure, they're fired.
Right.
Popeyes, on the other hand, is a crapshoot.
Yes.
KFC, on the other hand, is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking from personal experience.
Well, to say that.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, they were really nice in the Popeyes today.
Yeah.
They didn't body slam anybody since last Tuesday.
Well, we go back to
just true.
Go back to KFC and Chick-fil-A, right? Where I used to live in Northern Virginia, there was around the corner from where my parents' old house, there was a KFC on the corner,
right?
High traffic area.
Yeah, I
used to go there a couple times. I would go there, and it was there for over 10 years.
And
I went back up there
when KFC is cooked right.
Right.
There's a reason why it's magical.
Oh,
the 11 spices, the 12 spice. Like when they do it correctly.
Right.
There's a reason why it became a great brand.
Right. And I went back up there. I was up in that area about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And in the spot where the KFC was for over 10 years is now a Chick-fil-A.
No, Chick-fil-A.
In that building.
Yeah, doing 3 times the bubusiness.
Oh, right, because you can't get in there.
Right. So, I mean, that's how you build. Again, that has to be. That's the people topic that we'll get to, but it is great, right? The cost of bad people, is great. So we'll talk about that. All right. So I'm gonna hop into. We're gonna do one more.
Yeah, that's good.
There's a couple more, like things like referral programs. Making investments in things like local SEO in terms of where you're coming up, how you get optimized for local searches, but incentive plans.
Correct.
But the last one to do is partnerships and alliances.
Okay.
And not pursuing those.
Okay.
I had a buddy of mine I've known for 20 years. And for the first 10 years in his business, he was a man on an island.
Okay.
And we used to not joke about it. When we would talk about it.
Right.
I'm not going to say his name, but he's been here in our studio.
Sure.
And I would say, dude, you're on an island.
Right.
People don't want to work with you for whatever self-inflicted, perceptively, whatever the differences are. But I'm like, his business didn't exponentially grow until he started alliances and partnerships and building relationships and all of those things. So there's sales opportunities right now where you're not necessarily looking. And here it's important. This is its own episode, how to properly pursue partnerships and alliances.
Right.
So I want to put a pin in that for future. So I'm not going to go too deep here. But what I will say high level is an alliance or a partnership is not about somebody doing all for you.
Right. It's not a
I get those emails all the time. Oh, we want you to partner with us. And what partner with us means is me bringing my audience, using my network or doing these things to help them.
Right.
And then for some compensatory arrangement. Right. So that's not what I'm talking about. Finding out somebody who's going to save your pipeline or help you in that way. That's not what I'm talking about when I say partnerships or alliances. So there's a way, and I will make a note to get into that in the future. There's a way to approach that. But missing out on these partnerships and complementary businesses where, that collaboration, it just makes sense that these two things go together.
Right. They're running in parallel lanes.
Yeah, correct. So a lot of different reasons. But people not looking around and going, oh, we could do that.
Right.
But from a sales perspective, I mean, there's so much, anyone paying more attention to any one of those things that we just talked about today.
Right. And there's one that
will generate more sales.
And there's one that we didn't talk about. And it's important to talk about.
Yeah.
The people that you are doing business with already are the people that are most likely to buy from you again.
I think we didn't go deep, but we said referrals.
No.
Repeat business.
Repeat business.
Oh, yeah, sure.
We talked about upselling, but we're not talking about going back and doing business with these people again.
Yeah.
The people that are already buying from you and like what you're doing are the people that are the easiest to get to buy more from you, as opposed to the cost of keeping a client is far less than the cost of going.
People have been told that a million times over. It's the execution that's the problem.
100%.
Right? We're not breaking new ground, right? Your cost to keep a customer is greater. I mean, new customer acquisition is how Facebook is worth billions of dollars.
Correct.
Right? For return on ad spend and spending more and that whole process. But everything has to be comprehensive, because if you're in a business that doesn't have, I mean, you talked about moving, right? You used a moving company.
Right.
You possibly won't use that moving company for another 4 years, or 3 years, or 5 years.
Right.
So like them sending you emails or touching base with you every week about moving, there's nothing going to shake that tree loose in that way.
Right.
But in that transaction,
there
might have been some things that they could have done. Maybe some things you didn't buy that they offered, that you weren't even presented, that you didn't even know about.
Right.
Because you called and said, hey, I need to move. And they said, all right, what's this date? How many square footage? How many rooms? What do you have? Is it packaged? Do you need packages? Stuff have to be taken off the wall. They went through their checklist, and maybe they didn't look at the opportunities to upsell you. The main takeaway when we say the word upsell, particularly on this, is I want everybody to be clear. Stop looking at add-ons or upsells or cross-sells as some kind of dirty thing you don't feel comfortable doing or offering. Because if that's the case, then just freaking add it in and raise your price.
Right.
But you don't want to do that, because then you get scared that you can't sell it for that.
Right.
So you got to pick your poison. But one of the fastest ways to add revenue is to look at what is in parallel or what can be upsold. And it's not, this is business.
And that's more profitable revenue because you're already there.
Right. Oh, I don't want to, and everything.
Here's the thing we take for granted. We've got a lifetime of experience in sales.
Yeah.
And we understand that the more value we can offer somebody, the more they're going to want to do business with us, and the more they're going to come back, the more profitable that business is, all these things. We tend to take that for granted. Yeah. Because that's what we do. And even then, we don't always get it right. Even then, we miss on opportunities.
Yeah.
The reality of it is if people are doing business with you, it's because they want to do business with you. Give them an opportunity to do more business with you.
Correct. Well, speaking of opportunity to do business, position for growth. Now in store, shipping on Amazon.com. Recently an Amazon bestseller in strategy and competition, which is what it is. It's a strategy book. How to modernize your business and achieve a record of revenues. You can get it at Amazon.com, also on CoryMosley.com. Also, as we get out of here today, I invite you. You've got some challenges in your business. Maybe you're stuck, stalled, or stagnant. Maybe you're thinking about what's next on the horizon or how you get to the next level in your business. I invite you to head over to CoryMosley.com. You can apply for a free, no-cost consultation where we can dig in, talk about your business, apply the 5 pillars, strategy and ideology and framework to it to see where there's some opportunities for you to get growing beyond where you are right now. Also, if you're concerned about your marketing, right? Is it good? Is it bad? Or do you want to keep your current agency honest? You can also apply for a complimentary digital audit where we'll look at your SEO, we'll look at your website, we'll look at your Google My Business listing. It's a comprehensive thing that we do that you can apply to also get done complimentary, but you got to head over to CoryMosley.com to do it, and you got to take action to do it. Right. Every month that passes by is a month of new opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think it's important. And I think that's how we're going to close today. Yeah. LG, closing thoughts, closing words. I'll give you the last word, quasi last word.
Well, the thing I'll say to wrap it up is...
All right, we're good sitting. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Is we talk about a lot of things on these podcasts.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is we know that you can't do them all at once.
That's right.
Pick one thing that you want to look at in this and all the episodes that you've listened to in the past, and then we'll ask you to keep coming back. Pick one thing in each episode that you can at least look into, dig into, and figure out how you can help advance your business, how you can help grow your business, and do some things better than you're doing now. And so we appreciate you coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming back. And next time, bring a friend.
I like it. I love it. And we're going to leave it right there. This has been another episode of the Grow Business Podcast. Okay, he got a little gitchy, I guess, there. I'm Cory Mosley, joined by LG007. On behalf of myself, Lon, and Willie H., we'll see you next week. Willie H., take us out. He throwing a little extra.
What's that?
I said he's throwing a little extra one there at the end.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's one of those things, though, that
he was feeling gitchy.
We get so focused on.
Yeah.
Got to get a new client. Got to get a new client. Got to get a new client. Got to get out there. We forget the people that we're doing business.
Yeah. And I was just talking about him adding the extra ding at the end.
But Willie H. Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No, but that's good. No, well, that's good. It works.
Yeah, Willie H. wants to. He wants to avoid the buyback.
He's hitting the buttons, William. Yeah.
He wants to avoid the buyback.
So I ain't giving them tacos back, sir.
Well, you don't want them back the way you're going to get them.
Oh, the boys are back.
That's it.
Great job.
Good job. That felt good.
Yeah.